Hi everyone, welcome back to Aspergers from the Inside. You're here with Paul. I make weekly videos sharing the human side of autism, so make sure you hit subscribe to get the latest content. So today's topic is a phenomenon that I've noticed in myself and maybe you can relate to. And I've heard some people call it waiting mode. And waiting mode is the feeling that you've got a little bit of time, but you don't have enough time to actually do anything before the next thing you need to do. So you end up just sort of sitting around waiting for the next thing that you need to do later. So, for example, if I need to leave the house to go to visit a friend and I know I need to leave at 6 p.m. and I've only got 15 minutes and I want to have a power nap and I don't have time for a power nap and I don't have time to actually start anything else, but I also have 15 minutes to spare. So what's the deal with that? I find that this is a product of monotasking, in my case at least, because when I do a task, it takes a little while to warm up to doing one thing and getting my head around whatever I'm doing so that I'm actually in the groove of doing it. So what I really dislike doing is being forced to switch to a task for a short amount of time. So sometimes people say, well, can't you just read a book? Or can't you just meditate? Or can't you just do something else for that 5 or 10 minutes that you might have? Sometimes it's even longer, but I'll come back to other examples. And for me, the answer is no, not really. That's really not very nice solution for me, because if I start reading a book, if I start a meditation, if I just sit quietly and stare out the window or listen to music or something, then what tends to happen is I start enjoying doing those things. And then by the time I get into it and start enjoying it, I have to stop, which is really frustrating because I get interrupted, I feel, by my own schedule. So that's why I like to plan time out so that I've got plenty of time to finish doing what I'm doing before I'm forced to move on to the next thing on my schedule. So the examples I've given so far are when you've only got sort of 5 or 10 minutes in between things. But another similar phenomenon I've noticed is the similar feeling of being stuck, waiting, not able to actually start anything with much, much longer projects. So very often I would find myself at home and I have the idea, oh, I'd really like to do this thing, but I really like to repot a plant at home. I'm just picking a random example. Oh, but I forgot to get gardening gloves. I was supposed to do it on the weekend, or I've run out of potting mix, or there's something that I need to go out to the shops and get before I can do this task. So I don't have what I need. I don't have everything that I need to do the task. And which means I'd have to do other tasks first before I can do the thing that I'm actually doing. So I end up scratching that off my list, saying, okay, well, I can't do that just now. What can I do right now? And very often in this world, we end up relying on other people. So in my work, for example, sometimes I would love to write an article or do a video or create a course or put something together, but I'm actually waiting on correspondence with people that I'm working with. I might be waiting for a video editor, or waiting for another advocate that I'm collaborating with, or waiting. You can see that there's so many opportunities in this world to end up just waiting, not having what I need to actually keep going. And this is how I waste a significant amount of my time. I just can't seem to find a way to turn that waiting time into productive time. Because what I feel like I'm focused and on track for this one task, and I can't do anything else it's the opposite of multitasking, where if I've got a bit of a break or if I've got a bit of a delay, I say, well, that's okay. I'll just do this instead until this delay is fixed and I can come back to my original task. So what are some things that I've learned to do instead to try and manage this challenge that I'm interested to hear if you have a similar challenge, and hopefully I've described it enough for it to be relatable. So a couple of things that I've tried to do to overcome this is just giving myself permission to do things more on instinct. So if I have 15 minutes before I need to leave the house and I want to have a power nap, instead of saying, oh, I don't have quite enough time, I'll give myself permission and say, look, I'm going to have a power nap. It's only going to be 15 minutes. I'm only going to be 5 minutes late. That's probably no one's even going to notice. I've got a 5-minute task to do, but I've only got 4 minutes left before my next thing. Just do the 5-minute task and be 1 minute late, and then I like being on time, and it was affecting me much more than it was affecting anyone else for me to be 30 seconds late, 1 minute late, 5 minutes late. I went to a movie meetup with a group the other day, and this is a perfect example because I did exactly that. I gave myself permission to have a power nap and get this, 15 minutes late. I was only the second person to arrive. Most people arrived about half an hour late. So clearly I was not inconveniencing anyone by just following my instincts and doing the thing that comes in my mind to do, rather than feeling restricted and stuck and prevented from actually doing things. Another example with the longer tasks is, if I am waiting on something, then just go out and do it. Just go out, leave the house right now, go to the post office, get that one stamp that I need and come back and keep going, rather than letting it actually interrupt me. It might be, an analogy for this is, it might be a diversion, but instead of just sitting on the road waiting for the diversion to go away so that I could keep doing it the same way, I can just take a longer route, go around it, and then at least I'm back in control, in the sense that I'm actually doing something. I've got a little bit more agency and I'm not just waiting for someone else. And then I guess a third strategy, especially when dealing with other people and things that just take time and there's nothing you can do about it, is to plan that in ahead of time and plan to work on projects for a specific time during the day, and know that I'm going to do this, and then it's going to take this person a day to get back to me or a week to get back to me, and that's completely fine because I'm planning on it in advance. I'm not sure if that last example made sense, but I guess let me know if you can relate to this feeling that I've called waiting mode. I think I've heard some others use that term, so maybe that's something you've heard before. But sometimes it feels like you're just stuck and waiting, and I'm interested to hear if that's something that you've experienced as well. So thanks for watching, especially everyone who was able to watch live, and I'll see you again this time next week.